Hello everyone, yesterday's console mod drop was one of the best that we've ever received in Baldur's Gate 3, featuring mods that people have been asking for since the mod manager drop, with the Kobold Race mod, as well as the Dragon Pet subclass with the Purple Dragon Knight. I'll be breaking all these down, answering some questions, and going a little bit more in detail than I was able to yesterday now that I'm finally back home. And the first one I want to touch on is the 5e Cleric subclass combined. This is actually an incredible mod made by Super Dagnoth here, and it gives so many different flavors to the Cleric. So it has got the Arcana domain here. I did do a video breaking all this down if you want to see it in further detail. In essence, this is like a Cleric that gets wizard spells. The Forge domain gets the ability to buff up itself and also does some fire attacks like Searing Smites. Being able to give themselves more armor class is really nice, and to also the team members. The Grave domain, which has some really fun abilities here, like you can take out enemies and heal your team while using that. And you can also apply vulnerability using your channel divinity. So the Grave domain is actually extremely powerful if used right. The Order domain, which is focused mostly on enchantment style spells. Peace domain, which can use these emboldening bonds to be able to power up and protect your teammates or give them extra attacks. And the Twilight domain, which has a few different abilities, like the Twilight Sanctuary, which is basically a healing zone for your team. You can create the Eyes of the Night to be able to buff up your team and give them the ability to see in darkness. This is a really fun one, and you can do a full Cleric run with this, because the Cleric is actually one of the best classes in the game. And Super Dagnoth is working on some more stuff, but we also got lucky and got the Purple Dragon Knight, which is huge because with this subclass, it means that we might be able to see some other classes come soon. The big issue is dragon models in Baldur's Gate 3 have no movement animations, because they never had to code it, because most of the dragons that happen are in the game just fly up and down. So they don't have the walking around mobility, and Super Dagnoth was able to make a way to make this work, and it works really well. The Purple Dragon Knight also has really fun abilities like the Rallying Surge. So whenever you use your action surge, up to 3 allies can use a reaction to either attack or move. That's super cool. So you'd summon in the pet dragon like you would a Beastmaster Ranger, and it kind of has a cool workaround because it can make it fly, so it can actually move around. And yeah, whenever it's in combat, it's got the ability to, it has some few different ways to avoid messing up. So you can use the flight power hover to be able to avoid difficult terrain. You can change its shape, so if you're outside of combat, sometimes like doorways will bug it, and this will change it down to this, which works phenomenally. Now it also got its gravity breath here, which is its attack. The graphics for the VFX for this look awesome, like you can see that there, and you can push or pull with it. I think it's really cool. You can also fly and take your I guess the dragon's rider, your character, around using this as well. So there's a lot to the Purple Dragon Knight. I'm going to do an updated build on this because it's just so much fun. It's one of my favorite subclass that I've used in Baldur's Gate 3, and it takes so if you're unfamiliar with the 5th edition, prior to 2024, the Purple Dragon Knight was honestly one of the worst fighter subclasses, and getting a dragon actually enhances it quite a bit. So yeah, we also got the Circle the Shepherd Druid subclass mod by Incognito Brito. I'll be doing a future build on this once I get settled again here, but yeah, this is really fun. It uses the spear totems here. With these totems, they're like it's a summon that's going to buff up your team. And what's cool is there's no Floof normally, but they added this in because there's no unicorn in Baldur's Gate 3. So each of these comes with their own benefits to the character, and all friendly creatures at advantage on perception checks with the hawk. Things like that. It's incredible. And I want to mention that this has level 20 support. Purple Dragon Knight has level 20 support. A 5e Cleric subclass combined has level 20 support, and a lot of them have upgrades, and all of them have abilities that you get at like level 14, for example. Now you might be wondering why my characters are so big and Minsk is so little. Well, that's thanks to the Ace Tall and Small visual mod. And I've mentioned this yesterday, but I use this in a few different videos sometimes. Like I'll start off my videos like this, and you can't really tell until you zoom in and see the size of other people, and then it becomes highly apparent. This is cool though, because it can, a lot of people like the giant barbarian, a lot of people like playing as tall or small races, and this is just another way to be able to enhance it and give yourself a different way to role play. You can see there, you can get a tiny Lae'zel, you can have a big Shadowheart, whatever you want, this can be done with this mod. As well, the Kobold Race mod. This has been something people have been asking about for so long, and Ace made it possible. We now have goblins and kobolds on console, and it works as a disguise, but in all honesty, this works better than any of the Kobold Race mods that I've used on PC. I'll be full honest on that, because it's got more choices. They redesigned and made different colored appearances for a lot of these, and this is more options. With the PC mod, you only get like 1 or 2 at max. But the thing is, you can always take this off at any time. So if you're having issues in a certain area, because sometimes race mods do have issues on PC, but on console with a mod like this, it's easy because you just remove it and you're good to go. But yeah, this is great. If you want to play a Dragonborn and then have the Kobold shapeshift, works perfectly, because if there's any issues that ever pop up, and I haven't had any issues with the way that Ace made these mods, but incredible mod. Just want to highlight this, and it's very, very well done with so many options. And one of my favorite outfits, the High Priestess robe here by Scurvy. This looks a little bit different than the Divine Sister dress there that recently also came out on console. These have a few different versions, and one thing I like is that Scurvy puts both clothing and a camp outfit version of it, so you can have it with your armor too if you'd like. But what's great about this is there's also one for a headpiece, so you can do it with the, or I guess it's hooded, my bad. And there's also a cloak there. This looks really cool, and it has full dye support. So boom, if you wanted to be a red necromancer of Fae, you can dye this red. So yeah, this is awesome, and it's great for a variety of different role-playing reasons. I like these cool outfit mods, so yeah, we got that. We also got the Maya and Talia head presets by Set of Starians and Eclipse. Now, I personally can't get it to look as good as it does here. You can see that, but these both are great for different character creation. And then that's the Maya head there and the Maya head on here. Yeah, they do a better job than I do with it. Now, I'm really hoping that the Sculptor's Dream Cache comes to console, because this is my favorite race mod by far now. And they always have new updates with new faces. That's aside the fact, we also got one of the coolest customization mods with Poesilibre's glossy and metallic face tattoos. What I like most about this is it just takes what's already in the game and makes it look so much cooler. It's similar to how the makeup works on the character, so you can put this metallic level and the glossy level, and they just have it all maxed out on the body art instead. And it looks really cool, depending obviously on which ones you're using and what colors you go with, but you can create some truly unique designs with it. One that I really like, I use this one here often on my character, especially if I'm doing like a paladin or like a mage or anything like that. And it looks so nice. But the slight glossiness to it, just, yeah. Some tattoos it looks way better on than others, but overall, this is a really fun mod that, like, just awesome to see new character customization options like this. So yeah, that is the glossy and metallic face tattoos. Now, Kay's hair extensions and customs, this is one I got asked about. What it does is it adds so that you can put different customizations like this, like the different hair extension and bangs mods. You can add these to your character here. You got like the Jedi braids and all that stuff. And then there's also a few different pieces here. So this is really cool. Again, you're able to really customize and make your own unique hairstyles, especially now that we got Tav's Hair Salon. And with all these mods combined together, you can actually do quite a bit of cool different designs. And I've done that a lot in my previous videos. I'm just using the classic Evelyn hair mod from the Tav's Hair Salon right now, but in previous videos, I've combined a few different pieces. Like one from the Tav's Hair Salon that I find works good is any of these shorter ones here, and then you can add bangs and like back part of the hair, whatever that's called. A lot of these shorter ones here, especially this here, you can add bangs to it and it looks nice. So yeah, you can get real creative with mods like this. Highly recommend. We also got the Poesilibre's Dark Urge Scale Collection, which adds a bunch of new appearances here for the Dark Urge. They look nice. Again, more Dragonborn mods. Always a big thumbs up from Jade Dunna. I love these. And anything metallic too looks really sweet. So that's huge. Another mod that I'm mind blown that this came, because it previously, if you dig through the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of comments here, it was causing crashing for people whenever they're using the magic mirror in werewolf form, and it got removed briefly, and then it won't be allowed to come to console because of that. So this went through quite a journey, and Lord President put in so much work to get this to actually be possible for console players. So now you can select the Werewolf Dark Urge Origin when you're playing, and we previously did have another mod by them. We had the Shadowheart Werewolf, but this is now the Werewolf Origin, so we got it. We also got this one here, which is a cool mod, Gale's Beating and Glowing Heart. I think it looks cool with some of the different outfits that just like have a bit of chest going on, because it makes his Netherese orb look, I think this just should be his design. It looks cool like that. And this mod is made by Just Starian. Did a great job with that. Also, new dialogue notifications does exactly what you'd imagine it to. There's actually points in the game where there's no dialogue notifications, and you can miss out on it, because let's say it's like going to the Grove and then meeting Will or something like that. There'll be a small dialogue in between there. This allows you to see those small moments that only 0.01% of people have seen. Things like that. Really cool. So that's by Flea Nesco here. Inspiration cap 99, puts the inspiration up to 99. That's where it's capped at. Camp Activities P8 here by Gabe Camanescro. This will make it so that Alfira appears as a performer at your camp. Now, I did have a few people saying they're having issues with this mod, so I just want to put that out there. You may potentially run into issues. Not every mod is going to work for everybody, especially with the different mods you got in your load order. Sometimes they can cause interactions and things like that with this. So I just want to put that out there because I get a few mentions on that. Also, Francesca's journal here by Magnituning. I did mess up a little bit on what I was talking about with this. They have other mods that add to will. This one is wrote completely by them, and it's based off what we know of the character here. So this is really sweet, especially for those that enjoy Will's story 1 and 2, like getting more kind of flavor in their world. They did a great job with this mod. So yeah, this is definitely worth checking out. Especially if you want to just add a little bit more to Will's story. And you can also check out, they do have some other stuff here related to Will content, which is definitely needed. Also, I love dye mods. I say that all the time. This one is great because it actually dyes some of the harder to dye armor sets like Lae'zel's, the Armor Persistence, which is notoriously hard to dye, and makes them have these cool new dark appearances. I think they look all nice. So yeah, worth it if you want to do maybe a Dark Urge playthrough and you got some new dark dyes. Improved Sword of Justice by CryptoHack, legendary modder, you've definitely seen their mods like the Marauder before. This one adds in a new weapon which gives a additional 2d8 radiant and 2 to 20 radiant on fiends and undead. With mods like this, just be using Tactician Enhanced, you'll be fine. And I think it's cool again to have weapons that are specialized around some type of damage and you can build around it. Now, the last 3 mods, we got the Shadowheart Death domain default, makes it our default class. Same with the Knowledge domain with this mod and the Hexblade mod for this. Just a little heads up, you can always go and respec it withers, so save your mod loader. You don't always need to download mods like this, but hey, you may be interested in something like that. Who knows? But yeah, this was a pretty great console mod drop. Purple dragons, these cool new outfits, tall and small, kobolds, werewolf origin. There was so much going on with this mod. It's crazy. Let me know your favorite mod drop from today, and I'll see you all in the next video.